Still going. They're still going. They're still fucking going. We are gonna die. We are gonna die. I knew it was coming to this. Guys. It's the end of the world as we know it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 31 Days of Horror. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. This is day 18 with Zombie Killers, subtitle Elephant's Graveyard. So I guess this one has two names. It also goes by ZK Elephant's Graveyard. I've seen that advertised, and then I've just seen it advertised as Zombie Killers as well. And this is something I just came across very randomly at a local used video store. Fairly good price. I think I paid like 10 bucks for it, or 8 bucks or something like that. And being a big zombie fan, I'm basically a zombie movie collector. So I'll take anything from the most trashy to, you know, your big 28 Days Later and everything. So I decided to, like I said in a previous review, touch on some zombie films that I've never seen before, and this is one of them that caught my eye, and this is one that I definitely wanted to check out. This is directed by B. Harrison Smith, which I discovered after watching this film, looking him up, that he also directed, and I believe wrote Where the Scary Things Are. And I did Where the Scary Things Are for a previous 31 Days of Horror. So there's a little bit of irony there. Now we have two 31 Days of Horror reviews that I have on this channel that are directed by B. Harrison Smith. This is about a bunch of refugees taking shelter in this kind of bunker. It's just a very, very tiny town-ish. It's surrounded by fences. It's, you know, watched all the time. And they're trying to keep the zombies out, essentially, and survive. And it's just a simple survival story. You got a big community feel to the way everybody acts, which I find cool. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Westerns. I've said this on a channel before, actually very recently with a previous film, and they just don't do much for me. And as soon as I put this on and the title screen comes on, you got the Western music and you got the Western feel. So this is very Walking Dead-like. I haven't seen all of Walking Dead. I know I'm a zombie aficionado, and how dare I not see the entire series of Walking Dead, you know, and how do I not know it off by heart? Well, shit happens sometimes. I'm not the biggest TV guy to begin with. I have like 500 movies to watch. I barely have time for a season. But it feels like Walking Dead because it has that slow atmosphere. It has that kind of Western, you know, sandy, hot sun style, the tumbleweeds going kind of thing, and a really, really tight community. You also have Felissa Rose, and she's playing, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's her, she's playing this very, very religious extremist. So she's a bit of passionate person when it comes to her religious beliefs, and she runs the church and I guess I'm calling it a church, but it's more of like, it gets very, very cultish. You know, she brainwashes a lot of people. A lot of people are so obsessed with her, but it's not just her. There's a whole element of a lot of people in this town. There's this guy named Doc, that has a lot of influence on the people. And there's leaders that are listened to a lot, and basically a lot of people just do as they're told without thinking much. And a lot of people don't think for themselves all the time. Sometimes they do, and sometimes there is things that happen in the film where people kind of go their own way or rebel and stuff like that. But this is a very bleak film. It's quite depressing. The script is very, very dark, and the music to go with it, like the score that they chose, or B. Harrison Smith decided to go with, is very, like, it just enhances that bleak and hopeless atmosphere. That hopelessness is just so apparent throughout the entire film. There are a couple scenes where you have a horde of zombies from a drone shot or a helicopter shot, whatever it was. I'm telling you, man, they're in the thousands in a field. And I'm wondering if they did that with CGI or if they actually got just a shit ton of extras. I'm guessing CGI for the budget, but it looks like a horde of zombies, and it looks really, really good. I love both the scenes where you just have these, like, it looks like at least a mile just going on forever, all of them together, like sardines just walking towards the complex. And there's not much of a mission. That's the thing. Like, all these people are just basically doing whatever they can to survive. You have Dee Wallace in here. She's playing a sick woman, so she doesn't have much longer, but she has a son to depend on. The son is in love with this one girl, and there's some conflict with them, but there's more conflict with this other couple, because Misha Barton from the OC days is also in this film, and I really liked seeing her. She actually, I wasn't aware that she was in this film before I put it on, so she surprised me. She has this relationship with this older guy. I'm saying maybe 20 years different. She looks, I don't know, 20 to 30, and he looks 40 to 50. The religious woman, I think her name is Leah, but the Felissa Rose character has a massive problem with this. And this guy has some other skeletons in his closet too, and he has some bad blood with things that he's done in his past. But everybody's harping on him for being with this younger woman and impregnating this younger woman, but it's suggested that she might actually not be impregnated with his child, and other drama goes on there. Again, small town stuff, but I'm just like, there's so many horrible things going on that people are doing or have done, and you're worried about this guy marrying, you know, a grown woman who happens to be much younger than him if they're in love. Like, Jesus Christ, even if she was 18, it would still be fine. But we're talking, like, she's like 29, 30, 31 years old. Like, she's wife ready, and these people are making the biggest deal about it. It's just insane. I don't know, for me, like, two adults consenting to each other is not a problem, but a lot of people get up in arms when it comes to certain age gaps. But anyway, and then we do have a few scenes in here that are definitely CGI, and they get ridiculous. I've read some funny comments on Letterboxd and IMDb, because I'll just say that there's some zombie animals in here of different kinds, and all of them are CGI'd. And it's very, very obvious and blatant. Because there's a lot of them are fast moving, and they just can't use practical effects with animals that are gonna look realistic, so they have to go with CGI. I won't spoil with what they are, but some of them are really unintentionally funny, or maybe intentionally funny. I don't know if the director wanted to go with humor, because like I said, this film takes itself extremely seriously all the time. Of course, there's funny banter with the characters, and they make jokes a lot of the times with each other, especially the guy humor. It's a fairly believable situation and script when it comes to how these people are behaving, but there is, again, some character choices. And there was a film I reviewed, this 31 Days of Horror, The Dead 2, where you see a character make a choice and you're just like, why the fuck would you do that? I'm so not with you anymore. There are some moments that happen with that in this film. Now, you have to kind of ask yourself, what would I do in that situation? You never know. But at the same time, it's like, everybody should have morals up to a point. You should really not cross them, kind of thing. But you know, when you're in fear, logic sometimes often does go out the window. It's a very cool, very passionate project, and I found it fun. I gave this one a 2.5 because I really liked a lot of things about it, and I didn't like other things about it, and that's usually the films that I give 2.5 to because it's split right down the middle. And then there's this random character that comes in at the end, and the ending's very abrupt because you have this character that never showed up before, and he introduces who he is. He starts like talking about his plan, kind of thing, and then the film kind of just cuts to black with the ZK zombie killers credits, and then it just goes to the credits. And I'm like, well, were you trying to go for a sequel? Like, I really didn't get that. That didn't amount to anything whatsoever. So that was a little strange. As far as Elephant's Graveyard, I don't think I'm gonna mention that. I'll probably keep that one to myself. It means something. They do bring it up in the movie. They do explain what it means. Maybe if you already know what it means, then there you go. But Elephant's Graveyard is apparently a thing, so they do explain it in the movie, and there is a reason why there's that subtitle. So Zombie Killers, aka Elephant Graveyard, I guess, is from 2000. Why doesn't it? Should always say in the back 2014. It says here. So, you got a 2010 zombie film, a pretty good one, fairly good one that I would definitely recommend. Definitely better than The Dead Undead, quality wise. And yeah, it's fun to be had. If you love zombie films, that's a good one. If anybody has ever seen the film Exit Humanity, it's another zombie film. That's also a Western and period piece. Feels a little bit like that. So if you like those vibes, you'll get some good vibes with this one. Anyways, I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna get going. Until next review, though, I will be back. Thank you so much for joining me for 31 Days of Horror. Glad to talk about all these films. Glad to discover these brand new films that are all first-time watches and introduce them to you guys. Unless, of course, you've seen them before. Absolutely feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you personally think of them all. And yeah, until next review, keep things spooky. Sleep tight tonight.